Oh, snap. Oh, snap. We finally here. We are finally here. World, what is going on with you good people? I am the one and only Mark Bland, a.k.a. Sports Talk with Mark, here on the Good News radio station via Good News Sports. I got the boss man in here, Mr. Keith Good News himself. What's up, good sir? He over there saying what up, giving me the head nod like, hey, just keep talking, shut the hell up. But it's all good, man. I definitely appreciate you, brother, for giving me the opportunity and the platform to let my voice and my thoughts be heard. It's been a long time in the making, just having one podcast a couple years ago in Detroit, back originally where I'm from. We're broadcasting live from L.A., California, and just a Detroit guy doing his thing in sports, and now I get to talk about something that I love that I do on a daily basis. But let's get into it. So right now, also, if you guys got any opinions, thoughts, comments, hit us up in the chat room. Download the Good News Radio app, which you can find on iTunes Store as well as Google Play Store, or you can call into the show, phone number 323-900-0478 for those of you that don't know the number. Remember that number. Call, chat with me. Let's talk. Let's debate. Give me your thoughts, your opinions. Let's keep this thing going, all right? And going into just the first topic of the day, I woke up this morning. I did not watch it live when it premiered last night, but it was episode 4 of HBO's The Shop, which is brought to us by Mr. King James himself, LeBron James, and his people over there at Spring Hill Entertainment, Mav Carter, Randy Mims, Rich Paul, those guys. They do an incredible job with what they produce from a entertainment and content standpoint. So, yeah, it was just a pretty good episode. And for those of you that haven't seen it yet, again, it just came out last night on HBO. We had LeBron on there, Mav again, 2 Chainz, AD, a.k.a. Anthony Davis of the New Orleans Pelicans. Jamie Foxx was on there. Gerard Carmichael, the comedian, Meek Mill, as well as Antonio Brown of the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver. So just to have them in the barbershop setting, having those guys talk about different things that are going on in the world, things that they can relate to themselves, and just giving their opinion, whatever the case may be. So one of the big things that one of the more poignant topics that they discussed was with them having the platforms and the success that they have amassed and acquired thus far, their obligation to their family and their friends, just growing up and figuring out who it is that they owe. Do they need to give people things back? And if they do, how do they do it? And actually, I do have a clip of it. We'll actually play it for you real quick here, and we'll let it sit, listen to it, and then from there we'll go into it. All right.
When it comes to like family and friends, do we really owe them? Do you like?
Can I tell y'all my take on this shit? I be like, yo, I don't owe nobody shit. How many? Who you gonna please? I tell people, if you give your cousin 10,000, you get what you gonna get your aunt? You gonna get your aunt 20 because she babysitted you. Then what you gonna get your grandma? You gotta get your grandma.
Man,
it's never gonna stop.
Care of my
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, sometimes I don't even enjoy my day, bro. Because of me just feeling like I'm so responsible for everybody. I'm talking about uncles, aunts.
You forget about all the niggas you was just dreaming with when you was poor, and all your like hood promises. And people cash in on that shit. Like my aunt hit me, was just like, remember that condo in Florida you was talking about? I was like, I needed your couch. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not cashing in. All you said was, please. Oh yeah, keep working hard. That's not worth a fucking $250,000 condo. I owe you a Lexus now? Because you believe, what did that cost you? It cost you shit to believe in it.
If it didn't work out, what did you do? When it comes to
So just from that quick clip there, something I've even, debated on myself. I've talked to my family about, especially my mother, as I've attempted to become successful in the world, especially through the sports world. I know I'm by no stretch of imagination a multimillionaire athlete. I had dreams of that like a lot of other kids that were black, white, whatever the case may be. But even people and let's just keep it strictly within the black community for a second, when we become successful, when we acquire these new platforms in life to do great things, amass wealth, we feel obligated at times to, again, give back to our community, give back to our family, give back to those who gave so much to us. But then sometimes we, get hit with the whole, I don't owe anybody anything because I put in the work. And sometimes it's just a great debate that we have within ourselves. And again, obviously it was important enough for them to bring it to at least this platform on HBO. And matter of fact, from a non-sports perspective, I actually got one of my homegirls with me from Detroit. She in here. Christiana was good.
Hi.
I made her, watch the show with me this morning. She had a quick idea and just quick feelings on the subject within itself. So even from a non-sports perspective, but again, it's something that we all deal with as not just black people, but people in general who, start climbing corporate ladders or just the ladders of success in life. Real quick, what were the things that you mentioned to me earlier?
Well, I don't really watch much sports, but from looking at this video, what really spoke out to me was mostly this internal conflict that people who are in positions of power that have risen from a place where they felt that I was once here and now I've climbed up the mountain. And so, I want to reach back, but what's my commitment to other people and what's my commitment to myself? How much am I able to reach out to other people without it being at the expense of myself? How much do I really owe other people that have so-called helped me out or helped me get here? How much is it really worth for someone to say, hey, man, I got your back or I've been looking out for you versus, hey, I was giving you money back in the day. Where you at? Can you help a brother out? It's like, how much do I really owe you or do I owe you at all? You did something out of love or out of the kindness of your heart. And yet there's this sense of, I need to give you something back, that my success is somehow wrapped up in your life, that you were a part of this. And I think that in a way, that's a good feeling for other people to feel like they were a part of your success. They can see themselves in you. But how much can you really take out of something I did?
Right. Do you feel in your own personal life, real quick, do you feel like that pressure to do X amount of things as far as giving back or just giving gifts all the time for not just your immediate family? Let's take immediate family out of it. Uh-huh. But those outside of that immediate family, friends bubble. And real quick, shout out to the boss, man. He jumped in the chat room for a hot second, talk about nothing about sports. Get out of here. Whatever, man. If I didn't know anything about sports, I wouldn't be here. So, touche.
I think he's talking about me.
He wasn't talking about you. He's straight up trying to come for me and clown on me. It's all good. It's all good. Even though he's standing literally right across from me. But yeah, back to the question. Do you feel obligated to give back outside of your immediate family? Okay. And you do big baller things in your own right. By the way, y'all, Melanin on the Go. That's the Instagram one, right? Uh-huh. It's like Melanin dot on the go.
Yep,
how many dots is it? It's just the
Melanin
one.
Dot on the go.
Yeah, go follow her. She has phenomenal travel photos and whatever. And I literally live vicariously through her. But anyway, back to the question.
Okay, so outside of family, how much do I feel like I owe other people?
Yes.
As a black woman and as someone who sometimes feels like I'm doing something that other people don't do ever or don't do often or haven't had the opportunity to do or don't know a lot about, I do feel like a responsibility to at least share the knowledge that I have and the experiences that I have, because I feel like it's a disservice for other people to not be able to also have those experiences. Mm-hmm. Now, I feel a responsibility to share knowledge. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is not the same as necessarily me sharing money or funds. Mm-hmm. Resources can look in all different types of ways. And I think knowledge is power. And if you have the knowledge, you have the power to make different decisions and you can decide what you want to do with it. And it might end up looking way better than what I was doing. I might learn something from you. So take something away from what I'm doing and go forth and be free.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, definitely great perspective. And we definitely went on a rant and tangent, away from the sports conversation. But it all blends itself together no matter what it is you do in life, whether you are, working in sports, a athlete, or you're, behind the scenes person like I do myself as far as my career outside of this and having fun, but then people who in music and entertainment or doctors, lawyers, anything that we put in a high regard. So just, again, from that show and that just, real brief clip there, again, I don't know what position that they're in. That's just something for me personally, I've thought about being in. I don't know if I necessarily want to be in it, because that's just a lot going on. That's a lot of pressure and a lot of demand and expectation from people who, feel like they are obligated to be a recipient of just certain things in life because they've given so much to you, but you've given so much to the world as well. So staying on topic within the show itself, I mean, they definitely hit on a couple things that I still want to get into. Another thing that was brought up for anybody that's an NFL fan, and as NFL free agency is coming up here beginning later on this week, actually, I believe, with the start of the new league year by the NFL. NFL free agency is upon us. Anybody that's been paying attention to Fox Sports, ESPN, Bleach Report, things of that nature, Antonio Brown, wide receiver of the Pittsburgh Steelers, again, who was a guest on the shop last night, got into a little bit talking about his situation, what happened within the last week or two within the regular season in Pittsburgh. He obviously didn't play. There were reports out there that he didn't show up for team meetings. And so from a public perspective and a public, I guess, acknowledgement of what's going on, these were some of the words that he mentioned. Again, this is just a clip of it, but not the entire soundbite. So let's hear what AB had to say.
To the final game, we got to win, and we got to hope the Ravens don't win so we could advance to the playoffs. I'm a little banged up, so I meet with Coach Tomlin. I'm telling him, like, hey, man, I'm a little banged up, so I'm going to need a little time to get right. So he like, if you banged up, man, just, you could just go home.
Leave practice.
Yeah, like, you ain't even got to be here. So I'm like, damn, that's where we at.
Damn, how we get there?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can just hit
I
it.
can't get
Like,
no treatment.
so it's like, you know what I mean?
He was
So when
taking
you
the
think it's
treatment.
like, I'm going to war for these guys, putting my life on the line, it's like, it's an unknown when it come to me, just like right now, the write-ups. It's like, you know what I mean? They control the narrative, so we ain't standing on, you know what I mean, good foundation. They could just paint you any kind of way. And that's the thing people don't know. It's like, it's a controlled environment to where they could kind of determine if they want to let me eat or not.
All right, so again, that was Antonio Brown, wide receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers, giving us some insight on what was going on as far as the quote-unquote drama of what was going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers and why he didn't play, why he has now publicly through Twitter and other social media platforms of requesting a trade to get out of his situation there. He wants to go to a new team, wants to play for a different quarterback. Obviously, there's a rift between him and Ben Roethlisberger, two-time Super Bowl champion quarterback of the Steelers. And, one thing that was very, I guess, poignant to me was just the idea of the media and the teams and management versus the players and controlling the narrative of, the minute you step out of line with not going with the flow of things, or you're not going, you're not doing things according to the plan of what management wants you to do. Now all of a sudden you're the bad guy, you're the villain. You're not a character guy. You're a detriment to the team. You're a distraction. That's always a big word thrown out there, just being a distraction. And sometimes we don't necessarily know what a distraction means, because obviously if there's things going on in all of our lives, whether we're in sports or not, things happen, but we can block those things out. So if it's just a matter of somebody is disgruntled and they don't want to go play, a damn game, I mean, anybody else that's getting paid to play football, whether it's basketball, baseball, hockey, I don't care what the sport is, if one person's not there, then everybody else is still there to do their job. Now, when the game is over, okay, let's go back to it and let's, figure it out. But I think just from my perspective on the outside looking in, knowing people within sports media and also knowing, professional athletes throughout the years, there's always going to be that rift. But at the same time, sometimes I'm on the player's side. With in Antonio's case, I personally think, and I don't necessarily have a good answer as far as is he in the right or wrong. If he doesn't want to be somewhere, let the man go be somewhere else. That's my opinion. But when you have, contractual obligations, you will hope that somebody lives up to them. But at the same time, again, we're all people that sometimes we just need change. And if an environment is toxic for us and we can't perform to the abilities that we're capable of performing because so many other things are going on that are now truly inflicting on what it is that we got going on, then there needs to be a divorce of that situation. And even from a non-sports perspective, and one thing you guys are going to learn about me, I always take sports topics and compare them to real life situations, because even though they're on TV, we go through the same things in real life, just our BS and our mess isn't on ESPN all the time. It's not on Fox Sports. So if anybody out there ever had a job, I know I've done this. I've walked out on a job before because I didn't like where I was at and what I was doing. And I ain't like the people around me. Actually, I think I did it twice. And to my mother, I'm sorry, and you probably already know. We talked about this before. But if you don't like where you're at in the situation that you're in, you find a way to get out. Whether you request to get out or if you do what I did when I was younger, you just leave on spot or leave on site, you find a way to get out and get to a better situation. Or sometimes they let you go without you knowing that you're going to get let go. And this happens in sports all the time. But yet the fan consumption is, and fans tend to lean towards the side of the team because the team can control the narrative. They can control the image. But when players try to control their own image, it's a problem. They're divas. They are not insecure, and that's not the correct word, but they're just full of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Or they're high maintenance. It's all these things. It becomes so bad that somebody just wants something different for themselves, and that shouldn't always be the case. Why is it that we always question when a player wants to leave? And then even in the show on The Shop, they moved it over to Anthony Davis and him requesting a trade publicly from the New Orleans Pelicans. He tried to get out here to the Lakers. It didn't happen. I was a little PO'd about it. Whatever. That's just me being a fan and wanting to see the Lakers do good. But even still, it became a matter of why is it that when somebody wants, again, to leave, now everybody turns on you. Now you're the bad guy. Now you're getting booed when you walking down the street, or you getting booed in your own home stadium. Why is that the case? Why are we so quick to take the side of management, sometimes disgruntled journalists, media members, things of that nature, versus just obviously listening to both sides of the case? But then by the time we get to the other side of it, we've already made our opinion on who it is we're going to go with anyway, unless it is a very extreme circumstance and the narrative needs and the paradigm of that narrative just needs to be shifted. So, again, I love this show. It was on episode 4 last night. They got 3 other ones out there. If you guys got HBO or HBO Go stream it. Go, listen to what it is, these guys have to say, because obviously they do have something to say, and they have their own platform and narrative to do it without it being uninterrupted. So, and then real quick, just segueing from the show and something that actually happened as far as just sports and pop culture and even music. Yo, LeBron James A&R'd his first album. That's crazy. Like, we all know that athletes listen to music, and a lot of black athletes listen to hip-hop, rap music. I am a big fan and advocate of hip-hop and rap music, for those of y'all that don't know me. Shout out to Jay-Z. But he A&R'd his own album. And it was 2 Chainz's album, who also happened to be a guest on the show that premiered last night, and the same album, which I think is called Rapper Go to the League, dropped last night on all streaming platforms. I have yet to listen to it, so I don't know if it's good or not. Fire. The boss man said it's good. Fire. He said, you think it's fire, man? Fire. All right. Well, then that's high expectations for it to live up to, because I critique music, and I'm a heavy critique of, and critic, not even a critique, I heavily critic. Oh, snap, we got a first caller. Yo, what's your name? What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Mark, man? This is Michael the PG here, man. Got to chime in, man. I appreciate what you were talking about just now.
Yeah.
About the athletes having their own power. I think we get lost because even analysts, fans are a fan of a team. So we want players to do by their team. So if, like when Kobe was asked to be traded for the Lakers, we were kind of hurt. Like, man, what is he doing? Man, the Lakers shouldn't trade him. And, it was kind of some of the backlash, not as bad as AD's, but some of the backlash that he received was just like, man, this guy shouldn't be asked for a trade. Lakers have to win these championships, this and that. But the athletes deserve to have voices, man. Like, it's their career. They are the players. They are the ones who are putting the butts in the seat. So if they want to make a move after 2 years or even after 1 year, it's their career. They should be able to decide what they want to do.
I mean, what if they even want to move, midway through, their first season? So, you obviously know, by the way, y'all, Mike Hill, the PG, host of Courtside Radio here on the Good News radio station and Good News Sports. So just letting everybody else that's new to this show let y'all know who it is calling in. But even from you being, a big hoops guy, so we just got past the NBA trading deadline. Let's even go a couple years back when Melo, definitely wanted out of Denver and he went to the Knicks, but obviously that was a mid-season trade. He's been in Denver a couple years, but even still, you got guys that obviously don't like where they're at sometimes. How do you feel about guys just, saying, I'm out of here, and maybe not even give an explanation, but they just say, hey, I want to, I just want to bounce for whatever reason it may be.
Hey, it's just like a relationship. When you're tired of it and you want to be done, what you do, you bounce, you leave, and it's no consequence. Or sometimes there is, but it's the same for players, man. They're in that relationship with that team, and they're just tired of it. They want to move on. They should have a right to come out and say, I don't want to be there. And the teams don't have to trade them, you know what I'm saying, but they decide to. So, hey, the players supposed to have control over their careers. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And if a guy comes out and asks for a trade, hey, he deserves to get what he wants.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you on that. And I mean, even from my own personal experience watching guys, back and forth between different leagues that I've worked in, seeing guys come in and then seeing guys leave, it's just something you get accustomed to. And hey, change is sometimes necessary. But yeah.
And I heard you were starting on Bron AR on that album. I just want to say, hey, that album is amazing, man. 2 Chainz did his thing.
What's your favorite?
The production is A1.
What's your favorite
the
song
bars
on there?
are A1. It was dope.
You guys' favorite song on there yet?
Favorite song?
Yeah.
Threat to Society, man. That Ninth Wonder on the production is fire. That and the track with
that's a Ninth Wonder?
Hit a Lick.
Oh, snap. I love me some Ninth. All right, man.
Album is fire.
Oh, snap. This album might be fired in. All right.
Yeah, but hey, I had to call in, shout you out, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
So far, you doing great, bro. So keep it going, man.
My man, I appreciate it, dog.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, later.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely appreciate the call in. Any of you guys out there listening, again, the phone number is 323-900-0478. Hey, call. I'll talk to you. Let's rap about some stuff, man. But yeah, going back into LeBron being an A&R for this 2 Chainz album, I think it's pretty funny how even just with the rollout of how they announced that A&R or LeBron was going to A&R this album through a lot of the social media videos and feeds out there. I think Apple Music did an exclusive one-on-one interview with the both of them. Matter of fact, speaking of that Apple Music interview, I got y'all another nice clip. Let's go.
I know you're a busy man. For you to be able to come over here, don't nobody know but the people in the room. I think it'd be shocking to people to know how much input you had on it. You've been on for the whole year.
We got 16 tracks, right? The 16 tracks, we want to do 14. But is there a problem with a week or 2 weeks after the album dropped with the 14 tracks that we add the deluxe album and add the 2 songs back on?
I think that's hard.
I think it'll be a conversation of, oh shit, this man has some more, but he couldn't fit it into the album. Thank y'all for taking on this ride with me. Yeah. You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
Yeah.
It sounds like she should be on that track. Either you do it or not, but like, that sounds like her.
Exactly.
Somebody coming out. Short, show the thigh.
Took it back to the Detroit Pistons.
And boy, right here with my.
I was almost uncomfortable looking at you shoot around the other day.
You got a lot on there though. You got a ton of substance.
Okay.
That's what you do not have to worry about with this album.
So again, LeBron's doing everything in the world. I think it's amazing. I mean, just the evolution of how pro athletes have come from just getting endorsements to now, having equity and ownership of different companies outside of the sports realm. And, watching a guy like this who already is arguably one of the greatest basketball players in the game of all time, obviously right now, because we are watching him just live and doing his thing. I think it's amazing, though, again, to A&R an album. I would love to A&R an album, at least, do the soundtrack of a movie. And that's the privilege of having access, I guess. Hopefully the album is great. I've gotten 2 recommendations on it. It should be fire. Now, transitioning from just, the cool stuff in life and pop culture and getting into a little bit of a more serious note, within the last week and a half, it came out that Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, got caught up in the allegations of soliciting women out of a massage parlor in Jupiter, Florida. And when I initially heard it, I laughed. I thought it was pretty funny. A billionaire of that status out here, paying women. Just to get some? Just to have a little fun? Dog, you rich. Why you gotta pay? I mean, if you're gonna pay, at least, pay for, Louis Vuitton bag, something. Or are we boycotting them still? I don't know. I know T.I. mentioned like 3 European companies that we supposed to be boycotting because they came out with some stuff. That's something totally different. Anyway, again, most people thought it was funny. Then it became, what's, his punishment going to be? Are they going to, take the team away from them? Are they going to fine him? Is he going to get suspended for a couple games? Like, at the moment, none of that matters. Here's why none of that matters. Because the issue that was much bigger than that was the fact that the women that were being solicited were part of a human trafficking issue. And for me as a man who comes from a family full of women, from my mother, my aunts, both blood and God aunts, I have too many of them, grandmothers, cousins who are younger than me who are very intelligent, bright young women who are doing their thing in the world. You got just so many women that I know personally, close to my heart. And so one thing about it is just, really, it kind of hit home for me. It really did hit home for me. And I also have a lot of friends out there in the world that are women themselves that are, great at what it is that they do, as far as being professionals, as far as bright people. And there's the humanity side of this entire situation where you have to think about, okay, rich guy owns NFL team. Cool. He did something a little wrong. Fine. And people make mistakes all the time. But the situation, again, is bigger than one guy or however many other guys were caught up in this thing. Getting caught in solicitation, but it's the environment that the women were caught up in. And that's not right by any stretch of the imagination. And that's something I think that the narrative, as far as this story, should be the bigger focal point. Not, is a team going to get taken away from some rich guy? He could go buy another one. Not, how much money is he going to get fined? Once you're a billionaire, any dollar amount less than $1 billion doesn't matter to you, for the most part. I mean, we've had owners in other sports leagues and even in the NFL who've gotten caught up in other situations where, maybe a team was taken away from them, or more even specific example within the NFL, Jim Irsay, owner of the Indianapolis Colts, got caught up with drugs, and all the NFL did was fine him $500,000, which is nothing, and also suspended him 6 games away from his team. The man ain't playing. How bad does that hurt? He has $1 billion. He can go do whatever else he wants to for 6 weeks. Does that really hit home? Maybe. Does the same punishment hit home for Robert Kraft? I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. You have to go talk to him. I mean, if him being pulled away from his team is going to hurt him that much, hey, maybe that's the scenario in which you got to do. But again, the bigger humanity portion of it, and the reason I'm pushing this, again, it at least hits home for me because, again, I am around women all the time. I come from a family full of them, and I would never want any single one of them to be caught up in this type of situation, ever. Also, side note, I did visit trying to think of the correct term, a safe house for young girls who were getting caught or who were being rescued out of human trafficking situations in Mexico. I did that about 2 years ago. Eye-opening experience. And anybody that's ever wanted to know what it's like to see the faces of people that are taken out of such a horrific situation, I honestly recommend that you go. Go to places where people are doing missions and rescues and things of that nature to help the people in this world that have it far worse than what we do on a day-to-day basis. So that's my 2 cents on that. But again, I bring all this up because now we're going to see what the NFL is going to do. How are they going to handle, again, their statement of we don't condone violence and harm against women? Because that's been a big thing. It all started with this Ray Rice thing where he got caught, unfortunately. Thank you for that. Yeah, these are also, by the way, again, allegations. Everything's been alleged. By the way, thank you for that message. I appreciate that. But I think I did say that earlier that he was alleged. But again, Violence against women, wrong. Ray Rice, we saw the video. And when it comes down to have a video, oh, man, you're done. Allegedly, there are videos of Robert Kraft walking in and out of this establishment. They have not been released publicly, so I can't say, hey, go Google it. Go YouTube it. Also, I don't want to see it either. It's kind of disgusting. I don't want to see that. But, yeah. Another thing to remember, too, y'all. Yep, violence against women is wrong. The NFL has definitely made their statement about that and how they've done their punishments to players, because we haven't really seen this happen from an owner's perspective. And I take that back, we did. In Carolina Panthers, a team was taken away from their owner, Jerry Richardson, for having alleged sexual misconduct within the office, within the workplace. And so the punishment was, yeah, you got to get rid of this team. You can't have it no more because you've been running a zoo and you haven't controlled the environment, and that's not good. Because any place should be a safe space for a woman of any age, of any race, all that. Okay? Also, just remember, Michael Vick went to jail for fighting dogs. I love animals myself. I've always been around them. Never thought about fighting dogs. I knew it was a thing in certain parts of this country and maybe even the world. Michael Vick went to jail for fighting dogs. He also did have his ability and his chance to apologize and make up for it in society, which I think anybody who's a good person should be able to be redeemed and redeem themselves in good faith effort and live true to their new perspective on life. But yeah, it's just gonna be funny to see what happens with this, and hopefully the NFL gets it right. Hopefully Robert Kraft is remorseful for it. Hopefully the women that were in that situation are safely removed from it, and their betterment is acknowledged and taken care of. Because at the end of the day, we are all people, and we need to love one another, treat one another with respect. And if we see wrong things going on in the world, say something. Stop this whole, I ain't snitching. If somebody really doing something wrong, or if somebody's caught up in a bad thing, get them out. Help them. You gotta learn to love one another. All right. Enough with the deep stuff. Enough with the sad stuff. In the world of baseball, I know that's a very interesting transition, but back on a higher note, it actually kind of comes full circle to what we talked about at the beginning of the show with having obligatory feelings to those around you for making an astonishing amount of money. In Major League Baseball, 2 signings happened within the last, 7 to 8, 9 days? First one, Manny Machado, shortstop, got signed by the San Diego Padres to a 10-year, $300 million contract. Oh, my God. $300 million for 10 years. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. And then the other day, Bryce Harper, outfielder, formerly of the Washington Nationals, got signed by the Philadelphia Phillies for a 13-year record-setting $330 million deal. Damn! Man, I wish I would have played baseball when I was a kid. At least outside those 2 years I did coach pitch. Shout out to the Rosedale League in Detroit, Michigan. They did good. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's a lot of money to hit a ball for over 10 years for both of them. By the way, again, now because of these 2 deals, they're now officially in the top 5 all-time of deals set in the MLB, along with John Carlos Stanton, currently of the New York Yankees, who signed a, at the time, record-setting 13-year, $325 million deal with the Miami Marlins, then got traded. A-Rod, as a lot of people know, probably one of the highest-grossing baseball players of all time because he had 2 over $200 million deals between the Texas Rangers and the New York Yankees. His last one being, I think $275 million, and at the time that was record-setting. And then actually also this past week, Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies, he had a $260 million deal. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a third baseman or shortstop, something like that. Either way, his deal came before Machado's. Bossman over here like, good God. How you feel about it, man? Oh, it's coming from the TV deals, man. The question was, if you guys did not hear him, was where's this money coming from? It ain't all the way ticket sales, y'all. It's TV deals and TV rights and media rights. That's the crux of all this thing. ESPN pays over $1 billion to have the rights to even air baseball games. Did you know that? No. Yeah, they pay over $1 billion to have a contract to do that. It's crazy, right? Right, the mouse. We all work for the mouse. We all work for the mouse. If you ain't getting your check by him, you somehow paying for a Disney movie or going to Disneyland or Disney World or getting on a Disney cruise or somehow, some way, you paying for a kid's Disney-themed birthday party. We all working for that dude. Little runt. we all work for the mouse, man. But yeah, I just, in the day and age and time where, again, athletes can make so much money just to, be great at a sport, I think is incredible. Congrats to those guys. Hey, cut me a check if you ever meet me. Shout out, I'm over here. I just need a couple bills paid. Nothing major. I don't even want $1 million. Just give me a couple thousand. Nothing major. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions, by all means, hit me up on social media, and we'll get to that later. Listen, I really have nothing else more to say about them and their record-setting deals. Now they just got to go live up to it. So hopefully they don't end up like Albert Pujols when he signed his 10-year deal with the Angels. I think almost now 10 years ago, if not 9, because he's at the towards the end of it. Hopefully they get to live it out and, be productive players for their squads, or they just going to fall off the cliff. But luckily they're both in their mid-20s, so they at least there's some return on investment from a team perspective. And if they don't get a World Series out of it, was it worth over $300 million for one guy to just, bring butts and put them in the seats? I don't know. We'll see. Outside of that, hey, good luck to the both of them. Go Dodgers. Go Dodgers. I got my tickets for them this summer. So I actually can't wait to see both of them come out here and play. And then other thing too, guys, for anybody out here in the world that cares, NFL Scouting Combine is going on this week. Check it out. I think it's on NFL Network all weekend. It ends on Monday. I forgot which positions are today. I think it's the lineman, offensive, defensive lineman. Shout out to one of my close friends, Brian Simmons, new NFL agent. So he's out there with his client doing their thing. Hopefully that guy gets drafted. Won't put his name out there just yet. But, hey, hopefully everything goes well for you, B. Love you, dog. Proud of you, brother. And outside of that, guys, hey, I think we're almost getting close to the end of this first one. I think so. I get a nice little thumbs up, whoop whoop from the homie here. Thank you again for visiting me from out of town.
No problem.
For sure. And outside of that, guys, I mean, real talk, I appreciate it. This is the first one. We're gonna have a lot more of these to go in the future every week. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it. And honest to goodness, this past weekend has been a slow sports week, so a lot of radio stations, even across the country, that are syndicated. Yeah, we all talking about the same thing, and I refuse to talk about the Lakers today, just because everybody keeps talking about them. They lost last night to the Bucks. They are the number 1 team in the NBA. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna talk about the Lakers. I'm so mad with them. I'm so mad. The Lakers, man. First of all, they started off great and didn't have really good expectations coming to the year. And then they got to, I think, the 4th seed in the West before Christmas. Then LeBron got hurt, out 18 games. Then they, start to tank, got out of a playoff position. And then half the team almost got traded for Anthony Davis. And then they couldn't bounce back from that because they all young. They were caught up in their feelings like Drake. And now they're kind of trying to make this last playoff push to even get to the 8th seed, which they're, if I'm not mistaken, 3 games out. So hopefully they make it, but if they keep losing or they keep playing inconsistent, win 1 game, lose 2 in a row, win another, there ain't no chance that they're going to the playoffs. And then this might be LeBron's first year out of the playoffs in, I think, over 13 years, if I'm not mistaken. I got to fact check that one. He ain't been out of the playoffs since maybe his 2nd year in the league. It's been a long time. Maybe the guy needs some rest this summer. I don't know. Yeah, go ask him. But outside of that, man, the Lakers kind of suck. I mean, they do.
Watch them out.
Whatever. I would call a team that sucks. They suck. And maybe, maybe it's good that they suck, so they can still find ways to improve instead of being complacent. 'Cause I hate that crap. Like, yo, get your ish together. If you're going to ball out, ball out. If you're not going to ball out, well then, hey, get ready for the draft this summer. And then everybody go home. Let LeBron get some rest. He already old enough as it is. He's in year 16. He's going on to year 17. Hopefully Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka can pull something together this summer. But if they don't get AD, I personally don't think anybody's coming to the Lakers this summer. And I will be the first one and one of the only people probably out there to say that. I don't think half those free agents that are going to be free agents. So we're looking at Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard. Those are the big notable names. I believe Damian Lillard will be a free agent this summer too. If not, he can request a trade, I think. There's been talk about him trying to get to LA. I don't think any one of those guys are coming to the Lakers. I think guys don't want to play with LeBron. I think the allure that the Lakers once had once upon a time is no longer what it was. But at the same time, the guys that are now young in the league, when they were coming up, so guys that are, I'm 28, so guys that are younger than me caught the end of the Lakers run, caught the end of Kobe. I watched Kobe his entire career, so the Lakers mean something completely different to these guys. It's not the necessarily same thing. So, and their wants and their needs and their desires are completely different. Rumor has it Kevin Durant might entertain going to the New York Knicks. It was also reported that his outside business ventures company moved shop to New York City as well. Maybe that's a telltale sign that he's going to the Knicks. LeBron also kind of did it with his Spring Hill Entertainment company, moved out to L.A. Sure enough, he did follow. So if anybody wants to be a person that follows patterns, that's a pattern for you right there. If you're moving outside operation from where it is you're at to somewhere that you're supposedly going to go, maybe he already told us that he's going. He just don't want to tell us officially. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm a KD fan, kind of. But at the same time, too, it's like, hey, I mean, these guys are going to go where they're going to go. Hopefully the NBA continues to get better as far as from a competitive balance standpoint. I would like to see the Knicks be competitive because I haven't seen them be competitive for a very long time since they went to the finals in '99 and lost to the San Antonio Spurs. Hey, it would be nice to see them, make some noise again. I don't know. Also, again, don't kind of care. Go Lakers. And shout out to the Detroit Pistons. They're still fighting out there in the East. Hometown team getting it done. All right, y'all. I think I am done. I've talked myself to death. Next week, we will be back Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. Good News Radio app. Good News Sports. Follow me on Instagram, life_of_Mark. I think there's one more underscore there. I think it is, yeah. I'm never on this thing. I am on it, but I'm not. Y'all, come follow me on there. Oh, and shout out to Chris White, by the way. He chimed in the chat room. He said, best player in the world on the Lakers, but we still trash. Yeah, you're right. The best player in the world is on the Lakers. Lakers are still trash. Sad days. Dark times. Cleveland must feel real happy about themselves. Outside of that, y'all, I'm out. Peace, love, and blessings. Peace, love, and blessings. Got tongue-tied there. To everybody, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you here next Saturday. Peace.